if you can see me out here at Isla Guadalupe. Everybody see me? The video is good and you can hear me. I love hearing that. Welcome everybody to the Ocean Lab. This is a really exciting day for us. Broadcasting live from the middle of the ocean, pretty much. I'm hoping that you have a good video stream, and we're excited to be able to bring you live ocean science from the bottom of the ocean. We have two really great guests with us today. We have Dr. Chapple from Stanford, and we have Dr. Mauricio Hoyos, who is an amazing white shark researcher of Pelagios Cocunas, here at Isla Guadalupe. So I want to thank everyone for joining us, and we'll get into, I see how many places you guys are from, and we'll be talking to you shortly. Guys, can you hear me first? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yep. All right, we're coming down to you. Tell me, how's it looking down there in the shark cages?
Well, it's amazing. Visibility is not very good because most of the time visibility in Guadalupe is 100 feet, but we just saw a shark right now in front of the cages.
Tell me about the white shark population, where we are, and what you guys are doing down here.
So we are in Guadalupe Island. This is the most isolated island in Mexico. It's at about 136 miles from the Mexican mainland, and it's considered the best place to see white sharks because of visibility, which is at about 100 feet, and also because we have the record of 33 different sharks in one day, which is really, really amazing.
We know that there's about 6 different populations of white sharks around the world. There's a population in South Africa, on the east coast of the United States, the Mediterranean, the western Pacific Ocean near Japan, and Australia. And the 6th of those is here in the Northeast Pacific. So I do a lot of work up in California, which is part of this population, and Mauricio has been down here since 2003 studying the Mexican part of that population. So it's one of the larger populations of white sharks on the globe, and together the two of us have spent the last 10 or 15 years trying to study these animals and understand them. And right now there's one swimming right underneath us.
It's the same male, yep. The transmitter.
So right now there's a number of animals that are coming around to our cages. They're here at Guadalupe Island, and Mauricio can talk more about it, but we think they're here to feed. And at any time, as he said, he saw 30 in one day. And how many animals are there, do you think, in this sort of local group?
Well, we have tagged up to 25 now, but there is a photo ID guide, and it has about 200 animals that come to the island year after year, and every year we get to see new animals, and most of them are little ones.
The way that, as scientists, the way that we identify individuals is all of them have unique characteristics. The same way that we have a fingerprint, animals have these white sharks have coloration patterns and patterns on their fin that allow us to identify specific sharks. So what Mauricio does, because the water visibility here is so great, that they can look on the side of the animal and pick out 3 regions. So here by the gills, I'll get closer to you. Here by the gills, by the fins here, and then on the tail. He does that on both sides, and he can use that like a fingerprint to identify a shark. We do something similar up north in California. We don't have quite the beautiful water that Mauricio has. So we take photos of the dorsal fin, and you guys have probably seen pictures of white shark dorsal fins.
Okay.
We have a shark swimming right behind us.
Beautiful.
So that's how we identify individuals, and from that we're able to estimate how big these populations are.
Exactly. Now we have a shark behind us, and as Taylor said, you can see the pigmentation patterns in 3 different parts of the body. The gills, the pelvic fins, and the tail. That's like a fingerprint, and with that we can identify them. Also, we would like to know if it is a male or a female, and they have, can I have this a little bit, Taylor? Okay, so I was explaining you that also, in order to identify the animal, it's very interesting to know if it is a male or a female. And you have to look to these little pelvic fins, that's the name of that. pelvic fins in right here. If it is a female, they have just two. But if it is a male, they have two finger-like structures. And those are the males. And the males are smaller than the females. We have seen huge females in Guadalupe Island. The biggest female ever seen was recorded here in Guadalupe in 2013. And it was a big female called Deep Blue. Maybe you saw that in the internet. We have a shark right now.
And so that shark, how big was that shark?
I think that Deep Blue was at least 6.5 meters. She was the same size of my boat, and my boat is 6.5. Whoa, look at that. It's gonna get the bait. Whoa, look at that. That's a male. Look at that.
Yeah, so if you look at the bottom of that shark on the underside, you can see the claspers as it swims around. Now we can identify that as a male, as opposed to the females.
Great job, guys. Okay, so can you talk a little bit about their teeth and about how they, all the different rows of teeth and some of the senses of the sharks? And I'd like to have you guys repeat some stuff because we're going in and out of internet cut into.
So would you like to talk about the senses, and I will talk about the teeth?
Sure. So, sharks have a lot of the same senses that we have, but they have a couple that are souped up compared to what we can do. Sharks have a lateral line that goes along the side of the body the same way that all other fish do, and that's a pressure sensor, so they can feel when a pressure pulse in the water. So if you've ever seen fish school together, that's because they can tell where the of that lateral line. Sharks have an incredible sense of smell. They can smell a scent in the water that's miles away in very low concentrations. They also have the eyes, same that we do. We think that they're just as good as our eyes. And we know that white sharks spend a lot of time down deep in the water looking up at the surface for prey. So it's really crucial that they have good eyesight. They can probably see color similar to the way we do, but as Mauricio explained to me last night, that they think that most of the color is in green, so they see black and white and green as well. And one of the really cool sensor systems that white sharks have, and sharks in general, is they have all these little pores, these little dots on their nose, and they're filled up with a jelly. They're called ampullae florentini. What that allows them to do is feel electrical pulses. So this shark, as it's swimming by, can detect your heartbeat. So it can feel the heart, or it can sense the heartbeat or the electrical pulses that any of their prey give out. So when a shark sees at the surface something it wants to attack, it turns up, swims as fast as it can towards the surface. When it gets real close, it'll roll his eyes back so they're protected from the prey trying to scratch his eyes. And at that point, he uses these sensors on the front of his nose to know where the food is, and then he takes it. So it's a really cool idea that they use all these different senses to go about their daily business, to catch food and to interact with other sharks.